I was thinking, and I'm like going back and forth. I've talked about. I've been going. I've been talking about your light. As recently. Um, One thing that I find fascinating in all of this is the fact that I am changing. There's nothing you can do about it. You have to change, and I think the fact that I only talk to God now, and like I really don't have a social life as much as I used to. So a lot of times that I'm going and I'm breaking this cycle down with these questions. A lot of times I'm looking at myself, I'm like, okay, my number one thing is like negativity. How is it being shown up? In what ways is it being shown up? And I look at it from a perspective like how what is the things, and I'm finding little triggers here and there, uh whether it's in like friendships or if I'm doing something on the side and I'm like, am I getting triggered? And what I'm noticing is, okay, if something negative pops up in my mind. So it was one instances where I've been going in my mind, I've been thinking about this idea and the subject. And I remember praying about it and thinking about like, oh, I gotta talk to my homie, because the biggest thing was, how do you show people support on social media? But how do you stay true to yourself? So from a person that has yearned for support from its peers, I never got that. So my friend asked me to post this stuff, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. It doesn't make sense for me to post your stuff on my page because you would never post my stuff on your page. And I never actually spoke on it with him about the concept of that. Because in one area, it was like, there's no point, because are people willing to hear that shattered backward, that dust, that veil be ripped and torn? Is that something they're willing to see? And I remember my brother was like, yo, sometimes you don't need to do that. And where I'm getting to a place now is that something that I am tangibly getting myself frustrated because I don't have anything to worry about. As of right now, I got my bills paid. I'm showing up in ways that I never showed up for myself before. I'm keeping my faith. I'm praying more. I'm doing all these different things. But like my main thing that I'm circling back to is like, am I like doing this? Like, why am I bringing up negativity in my life if there's no need for? And this is where I'm trying to think about human nature. And I think when your life is boring, when your life is the same repetitive thing over and over, you can tend to lean into something. I need chaos. But for me, I'm searching for that, not boredom, but I'm searching for that positive ball of light that is overwhelmed in my life right now. That's what I want to stay in. I don't care about the negativity. I don't want to be there no more. I want to be here in. If I'm not talking to anybody, if nobody's presenting good things, good thoughts, I don't want to participate in it. So my concept and my conversation with myself, even today, is, am I serving myself up by bringing up negativity or talking to my friend about this certain aspect of my life, or why I feel like in my mind I'm a different person? So every time I contact or I think about my homie, I feel like I'm going back to a place in a skin or a version of me that I don't identify with. Because this version of me says something real in that moment and saying, hey, I can't, this doesn't do anything for you. And here's the difference. It's so funny because I just got another portion. I remember I had these hats that went viral, and I was like, "Yo, here you go, bro. Love, bro. Here you go." And he said, "Nah, bro, go sell them." In my mind, I'm like, "That's weird, bro." In my mind, I thought that was weird. At first, I thought it was weird, and I do the thing that I do all the time. I go back, I revert, I analyze, and then I come to the conclusion where maybe I'm just making this something bigger than I am. And that's something that I'm recognizing a lot of times. I'm always going back to the fact that maybe my ego's too into it. Or maybe this is such an uncomfortable situation to talk about that I go and veer it to be on me so I don't have to, I'm calculated, so I'm like, I don't have to overly think about a situation. And that's something that I'm being very aware of in this current stance, is because I don't necessarily feel that same way anymore. I don't feel the way of like being afraid to speak up. I don't feel a way. I just want the truth. I want real, honest, true friendship conversations. I don't yearn for the fake shit, the fluff. I don't yearn for that anymore. I don't care for it anymore because I'm showing up as the most authentic version of myself every fucking day. That's my job. That's my job as a human being, to show up every day, to show my light, and to be as real and authentic as I can be with the people that I love. And I was just thinking, I'm like, we as people like to create chaos because our life feels boring. And it's not that your life feels boring. Maybe that's just God's protection over you. Maybe that's an opportunity to get deeper into your word, get deeper into knowing more about yourself, and to recognize what are these certain patterns that are popping up. Because I honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you, I have nothing. I have my brand. I communicate with people, but it is not something that negative forces are coming and knocking on my door every single day. No, it's showing up for myself every single day, which is giving me higher levels of what I should be able to participate in. And I'm just, breaking down those barriers. I really, those thoughts and those ideas are something that is just being nagged in my brain, and how I can move and move different. So that's just my POV. Like, what are the things that are, what's the yearning of chaos invokes in people, when your life is boring, when your life is just good and positive? Why do we do this? And those are just questions that I've been asking myself, like, why? Because I don't need it. So is it an ego thing? Is it a pride thing? Is it something that, is it the fact that for me to move forward in the relationship of like seeing and wishing my homie best? Oh, like I wish, like, that's the thing, is just like giving that to the world and allowing that to be part of who I am. And because I don't think I wish any ill will. I'm always happy for everybody. I'm always supportive. And the thing is, I always tell this, I support differently. When I think of, if something comes to mind and I actually have a communication with somebody, I actually bring people's names up. Now, that's the thing. It's like, how much is your name being brought up in those rooms where you don't know, and I don't know that, because I never felt like my name was being within my friend group. Like, are there always like good things? Yeah, but part of me is like, y'all actions speak louder than y'all words. And whatever you guys say in the dark, I don't know, it's showing up your actions. That's how I always felt. And I've always overlooked it because I was like, bro, I'm just here. And I said something that was important today. I always felt like I was a placeholder for a friend that they really would actually rather be there than me. And I felt that because my entire time of me, I always felt like I was just a placeholder. I was just like somebody, like you looking for something like that. I'm the last call. I'm the, hey, you got to talk to bro call. And it's just like, that's where I'm at. And, but like I said, I don't think my friends they don't have any ill will. It's just, these are thoughts in my mind that are coming to my brain. And I'm just trying to figure out and decipher where those places coming from. Are those things coming from those addressed parts that you just want to shed and you just don't want to be part of that, so I can see and be in a more positive light? Because these are things and these are barriers and things that are really getting ripped and tossed away. So yeah, but we'll see.